I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a time like this, in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's a lot better now.
It was like a huge weight lifted.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, as always presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Chevy dealers of the Ozarks, Labor's Local 663, who reminds us to drive safely in work zones. Everybody wants to get home safely. The Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Shelter Insurance agents Grant Baker in Aurora and Sean Holman in Lockwood. A Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states that care as much about your money as you do. And here on our Country Financial Team of the Week, we welcome in the Logan Rogersville Wildcats and head coach Casey Lettle. And Coach, been a long time in coming, but I appreciate you guys got this worked out.
Oh, no problem. We finally got connection issues worked out, so thanks for having us.
You bet. Coach, 23-7 on the season. You've won 6 of your last 7 here, including the district championship. You avenged a couple of losses. A loss to Ava last year in the districts. You get them earlier this year. You overcome a Hollister team that you lost earlier in the season in the district championship. 6 of 7, but you've scored 87 runs in those games. The offense is really swinging the bat well.
We have been. We really hit it well. I mean, we knew Hollister and Ava both. We both had pretty good pitchers on the mound. And we just, we kind of had a mindset from the very beginning that we were going to be aggressive. Kind of preached that all week, and our kids really did a good job and scrapped out a bunch of runs. And you score 27 runs in a district, and you're pretty excited as a head coach. And pitchers can go out there, man, they can relax and just throw, and our guys did. So offense has come along a lot, and hopefully we can keep that going in the next couple of days.
Yeah, as you look back at last year's team, a 22-6 team, what did you have to replace off of that team coming into this year that you lost to graduation?
Well, we returned almost everybody. We lost Drew Cornelison. That was a big hitter for us. I mean, some of his stats were just outrageous last year. I think he hit 4 grand slams on the year. So we knew coming in that would be tough, but we also felt like, most of the kids coming back from last year, now they had, a year of experience under their belts. And we thought it would be more of a replace him by committee, more or less, and it really has become that. We're pretty deep 1 through 9, in the batter's box being able to hit it. So.
And before we talk about the sectional game coming up, you've got some players there alongside. You might introduce them, and I'll visit with them one at a time.
All right. We're going first up right here, standing behind me, is Tanner Peterson. He's our shortstop and senior for us, and has played kind of all over, infielder, pitcher, the whole 9 yards.
Tanner, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for having us.
Hey, you bet. Tanner, tell us a little bit about kind of your roles and responsibilities on the team.
So starting shortstop, so I take a lot of pride in my defense and kind of getting everybody set up there. And then I've been hitting 9th this year, where I hit leadoff last year, so it's kind of a new role, but I think I've done okay. And it's kind of nice just having that depth at the bottom of the lineup to get on base.
Kind of just like having another leadoff hitter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Tell me, talk a little bit about the season. I know the last few days, maybe 10 days, you've had a lot of rain, but just kind of overall talk about what the challenges have been for the Wildcats this year.
Well, we talked about it a lot to start the year, like an off season, and it was just not being complacent. And I think there's been a couple games this year where, we've known we're pretty good and we've kind of acted like that and played like that. So just keeping that on the low and not playing like that, just playing up to our potential has been really good, but that's probably been our biggest challenge.
As you look back on this season, what were some of the biggest games? Games that you were really looking forward to coming into this season? Maybe if it's a rivalry game, maybe it's to get out of that district championship.
District's huge, but I think a lot of us really wanted to beat and play Nixa, and that was a real up and down game. Didn't start very well, but we came back and ended up winning at the end, so that was pretty big for us.
Now you're a senior. What plans, if any, do you have for next year?
So I'm gonna go to Missouri State and work with the baseball team. I've had some back problems, so couldn't really play, but gonna try to stay in baseball as long as I can.
All right. Well, Tanner, hey, congratulations on behalf of Country Financial on being part of the team of the week. And Coach Lettle, who do we have next?
Got Tristan James. He's standing back there. He's sporting the new mustache. That's our thing. Now, I'm not sure if that's the greatest idea, but we're gonna go with it anyway.
Tristan, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Tell us a little bit about the position you play and what your roles and responsibilities are.
I am the team PO, so all I do is pitch pretty much. I mainly serve as a reliever, so I'm on the bench most of the time, just sitting there cheering the team on. And then whenever I'm told to get loose, I run out there and have to be ready and a win whenever Coach Mather's yelling at me. So, but I mean, that's about what I end up doing. I'm just trying to be the best teammate, cheering everyone on, and then whenever it's my time to go in and relieve whoever started, that's what I intend to do.
Tristan, when was your last time to be on the mound?
It was senior night against Modet. I got the start. I think I went 2 2/3 innings before I was just gassed. It was like 95 outside, and I just couldn't go further.
95.
Yeah, it was
pretty hot.
It was a little hot.
During that hot.
Kind of talk about this season from your point of view. Have you obviously you've still got a lot of goals in front of you. You've got a sectional game coming up with California, but outside of that, have you just kind of put a bow on the season from your point of view?
Well, I definitely think we could go further than the sectionals game. I think we could. I think that we could beat pretty much anyone in the state, especially within the top 10 rankings. I mean, all the games that we've lost this year have not necessarily been teams that are just flat better than us and have outplayed us. It's more just us beating ourselves. So, like Tanner said, if we play to our full potential, I think we can beat pretty much everyone in the state. So I think we have a pretty good shot of winning it all. But we got to focus on tomorrow and just take it one game at a time.
Hey, very good. Hey, Tristan, thanks so much for being part of the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach, who do we have next?
Senior Blythe Blakey.
How are you?
I'm good, and I didn't catch the first name.
Blythe.
Blight?
Yeah.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Tell the viewers a little bit about the position you play and what your responsibilities are.
I'm the starting pitcher and the starting third baseman. I do a lot. Hit leadoff too, so I'm always active going into it. Whenever I pitch, I'm the flex DH. So once I get pulled from the game, I'll also just DH the rest of the game. And then whenever I'm not pitching, I'll go play third, or I'll DH depending on how many days. If we play back to back after I pitch, I'll DH the next day. So mainly a hitter and pitcher, I guess.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about what you do to get prepared. Let's say you're throwing, and I don't need to know who's throwing, but let's say you're gonna pitch in tomorrow's game. What are you doing to kind of get prepared for that?
It started probably yesterday. If I was going to be pitching tomorrow, it started yesterday, just locking in. I mean, me and a buddy went and watched the California team play last week, just kind of getting some scouting reports on, just like looking back on what we know and just mentally getting ready for it, I guess, because it is a really big game, but you don't got to get overwhelmed with it. Just go out there and throw.
On the days that you're pitching and, that first inning, or maybe it in the bullpen, getting prepared to pitch, are there days where you kind of feel like that you're on? A lot of times I talk to basketball players, and when they're warming up, they, in the warm-ups, they know, hey, I'm going to have a good night. Are there days you feel like, hey, I'm hitting my spots, I'm getting great rotation?
I mean, yeah, the last two starts I haven't felt the greatest. It's been a little rough go for the last two, but before that, normally it's whenever I'm playing catch. If I can actually play long toss, then I'm good to go. If I can't really throw it that well, I can long toss, and I know I'm not going to have my best start.
Very good. And then, hitting in that leadoff spot, what are you doing there to kind of get prepared on an at-bat by at-bat basis?
So if we're the home team, I don't really get a lot of time to get ready to hit between. I just got to go throw all my stuff on, and I normally get to see about 2 pitches, and then I'm in the box. But it's more just go up there and be aggressive. I know in that leadoff spot I'm going to get a first pitch fastball 90% of the time. So if anywhere in the zone I'm swinging, just trying to get on with that first pitch, get the team going.
Very good. Well, Black, thank you so much for being part of the show today. Best of luck as you go forward.
Thank you.
All right. Who do we have next, Coach?
Senior Clay Palin.
Clay, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I am good. I'm good.
20 years, you better get ready for the ticket because he's going to run for president, no doubt about it.
Very good. Going to run for president. Well, I won't ask any political questions, and I won't set you up on something that can be used in 20 years against you.
That's true.
So tell us a little bit about the position you play and what your responsibilities are.
I'm the team's second baseman. I batted second this year, and I spent a little bit at 6-hole, 2 completely different responsibilities. At 2-hole, it's just I got to get on or I got to move Blythe over. So Curry or Hunter, they always drive me in. So it's just you got to produce runs there.
When you're in the box, I mean, are you looking for a certain pitch or a certain location? And you don't have to tell me what it is, but I mean, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm just hunting a fastball.
Very good.
He's laser focused.
Defensively, what do you have to pay particular attention to? Are you looking at the hands on the bat? I mean, because you probably have bunt responsibilities. Obviously, you've got if there's a runner at first, you've got coverages on steals, things like that. What do you pay particular attention to?
Always pay attention to the foul balls, if they're a little late, if they're a little early. That's where I kind of position myself. Got to know, of course, if it's a fast guy on first, if he's about to steal, I need to get a little closer to the bag to be ready for that, or just kind of know where the guys are at and always being alert of the moment.
Are you looking into the catcher's signs? I mean, are you aware of what every pitch is going to be?
Yes,
All
all
right.
the time.
Yeah. Then you just signal open hand, closed hand to the outfield.
Oh, yeah, what'd you say?
Never mind. I just usually, when I played at the collegiate level, I would know the pitches and I would just signal open hand, closed hand to the outfield, so they would know if it was off speed or fastball, so they could adjust accordingly.
I can't say that I've done that, but probably a good idea too.
Very good. All right. Hey, thanks so much for being part of the show, Clay.
Thank you.
And who do we have next, Coach?
Senior Hunter Lewis.
Hunter, how are you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Tell us a little bit about the position you play and what your responsibilities are.
Well, I started first, and I think the only responsibility I've got is make everyone else on the infield look good. So that's pretty much all I can do.
Very good. Very good. So how do you get prepared on a game day? What are you doing to kind of get prepared for the team that you're playing?
Pretty much just clear the head and don't overthink things and just play the game that I've always loved growing up. So, I mean, there's nothing much more to do to that than that.
Have you always been a first baseman? You're probably the biggest guy in the room right now. So have you always been a first baseman?
Yeah, I've always been first.
About where do you hit in the lineup?
I hit 3-hole.
Very nice.
Go up, play, just see ball, hit ball hard. Because like Clay and Blythe said, they got on base, and it's 3-hole and 4-hole's job to hit them in. So,
as you look back on your senior season, do you have a game that really stands out as a favorite game you played? Maybe it's a big win or something like that.
I mean, like Tanner mentioned, Nixa was probably the biggest game because a bunch of just rivalry, and then Nixa was, I mean, they were loudmouths, and it meant a lot for us to put them in their place, and it's just really showed what we were capable of. So.
Yeah. Well, now they're sitting at home, and you guys are going on, so you still kind of got that trump card. I didn't mean to bring up Trump, Clay, so that wasn't a political statement. But hey, thanks so much for being part of it, and best of luck as you go forward.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. And our last victim, I think.
No, those are all our seniors. I've got Coach Tao, one of my assistants, and actually right out of the screen, you've got Coach Henson sitting in here. So they were sitting in here too. They were my backup fail-safe plan in case I can't use technology correctly. So you can.
All right. Well, Coach, now you've got California coming up. What do you know about California? I know there's
always kind of circumvent. You check out with other coaches. People might have played them, but Coach Tao went up there last Wednesday and watched their district championship game. We got the opportunity to do that. So he always scouts very, very well. So I knew that, and he put together kind of a little packet for all of us coaches, and then of course we pass that on to all of our players. So they've got a couple of good arms that they're going to throw at us, and I'm sure we'll see them tomorrow. So But, we feel like our schedule and the teams we played this year, I don't know that we can see anything better than what we've seen on our schedule. So that excites us a little bit. We saw some good pitching there in the district. And what we've kind of figured out is, this kid looks a lot like the Kemp kid from Hollister, who we just faced. So that's definitely the experience factor is definitely positive for us.
And coach, as you look back over the past maybe 5 years, here in Southwest Missouri, baseball has gotten so good, at every level. And you look at where it used to be the St. Louis teams that would win at the CBCs, the Westminster Christians, and things like that. And they've got the Willard. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
On us a few times. So I remember those days.
Yeah, and it's what can you contribute to kind of the rise and success of the local baseball here in Southwest Missouri?
Well, I actually heard a statement from Coach McGee say that a few years ago. We all got to the Final Four several years ago together, and like you said, St. Louis and Kansas City, they just 1 through 9, they just could outplay us. We just couldn't match it, and I think a lot of it's the off season, the training, I think there's a much higher caliber of coach at every level. You've just got a lot of experienced guys that have been in some big time baseball games. And I think it's just a combination of all those things. I think our kids have just raised their level, as not only our kids as, here at Logan Rogersville, but just in our Southwest Missouri area. Never hurts to have, the Missouri States and the C of O's and the Evangels and the Peterson juries and, the caliber of programs that those guys put together too. And then you just look at the Springfield Cardinals. We just got baseball around here all the time. And I think it's just a combination of all those factors. But you're right. I mean, I think, you've got the possibility of several teams from our area going up and going toe-to-toe with any of those St. Louis and Kansas City schools. So that's exciting.
Yeah, you look at just Marionville, Morrisville playing tonight, and that winner is likely to get probably to the Final Four and maybe win a state championship. Marionville's defending state title holder. You've got Willard, who gets the benefit of being in Class 5 where there's not as many schools, so they don't have to play. They go right to the quarterfinals now. They don't have to play a sectional game. And that could hurt them because now everybody's going to have all their number ones are going to be available each of the next 2 weekends because they got 6 days off. And then you've got teams like Logan Rogersville and there, and you've got Hartville and Springfield Catholic. And
It's on the flip side of our sectional, so they're still in and got to go play a tough Summit Christian team tomorrow. So yeah, there's just a lot of good baseball in our area. A lot of those teams that you mentioned. I mean, we play almost all of those teams, so that's kind of a nice thing too. And I think Coach McGee and we put that game on a Thursday before districts every year because that's just a great matchup for the both of us. But like the kids mentioned, I mean, just how good Nixle was this year. And we ended up playing, I can't remember what it was, but maybe 12 or 13 state-ranked teams at some point in time, and we came out on top more than we didn't. So pretty excited about that too.
Now there is a schedule change for your game tomorrow versus California. Might run through that.
Well, we decided today, and it's a tough call because I know Aurora and Summit Christian are going through the same thing right now. You really put yourself at a disadvantage if you can't play tomorrow. So as much as I don't want to lose a home game, playing on the turf and having the ability to play over at US. So we moved that game to 5:30 tomorrow night. I think Catholic bumped theirs up to noon tomorrow to try to beat the rain. There's a plan B in place that we'll play there on Wednesday if we have to. So we're trying to find the best venue and the best field that we can play on. So I'd love to have the home game here because I think the last time we had a playoff game here at home, oh man, we had 1,000+ people. I mean, we had a ton of people that were out here. So I hate to take that away from our kids to be able to have that experience, but at the same time, it's US. Our people are used to going to US all the time. So 10 minutes away, we can do that for some turf. So next year we won't have that problem. So we'll all be turfed.
Outstanding. It's a little breaking news. But again, Coach, on behalf of Country Financial, congratulations on being named a Team of the Week here on the Missouri Sports Network and MissouriSportsNetwork.com.
Thank you very much. And Guy, thanks for having us.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.